looks like I'm in a car right now, and that's because I am in a car right now because it's the middle of the night and everyone in the house is asleep and I don't want to be rude. What up? It's Mama Shelves. Let's just jump right into it. I'm just a human navigating life, and while I'm living in this world, I want to help make the world a better place, and that starts with being better myself. I need to be better for my family and friends. I need to be better for the other fellow human beings living on this planet, and I need to be better for me. This is the most personal and revealing video on my channel so far, but I like keeping things real, and this might help people, so it's worth it. If you decide you want to stay for the whole video, hopefully I can help inspire you to also take some time to self-reflect and make some serious positive changes and be on the right side of history and just be an overall better person. If this video doesn't help you or doesn't inspire you, then never watch it again. I understand. Okay, so a little bit of background. I was born and raised in Daly City, California, which is right outside San Francisco. I am Filipino American. I grew up around a lot of Filipinos because obviously my family and because of friends of the family and because Daly City has a lot of Filipinos. I went to a pretty whitewashed Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade, and then I went to a pretty whitewashed Catholic high school, though my high school was actually slightly more progressive in certain aspects than other Catholic schools. I met and made friends with people of other races and ethnicities. Ethnicities is such a mouthful to say. I'm gonna try saying that again. So I met and made friends with people of other races and ethnicities through musical theater and through hip hop. I was raised to be supportive of the LGBTQ plus community, and I met and made friends with people of the LGBTQ plus community through musical theater and through hip hop. And when I went to college in Los Angeles, I had a diverse friend group there, and while I was in college, I further developed progressive views on various topics. And then after college, I moved to New York City, where I met people from all different walks of life and even further developed progressive views on various topics. After living in NYC for a bit, I went on my first national tour with a show that was all about female empowerment, which of course further developed my feminist views. I completed my tour, and then I moved back to the Bay, and then I moved back to NYC, and then I moved back to the Bay, where I've been quarantined since March. Adjust. Okay, sorry, we're in a car right now, and I don't have a tripod, so we have to keep adjusting. Okay. Thanks. Okay, so the reason I shared all of that is because I am just one example in an enormous pile of examples of how someone can spend the entirety of his, her, their life living in progressive cities, be a person of color, experience racism, have a diverse group of friends, be raised to be tolerant, and still be ignorant and have problematic thinking. I've been quarantined since March, and I haven't had a job since March, so I've had all this time that normally I wouldn't have to just reflect. I've been reflecting on a multitude of issues in the world and how I've contributed to them throughout my life. One of those issues is climate change. I have never once doubted that climate change is real, yet throughout my life I've had all these habits that are bad for the environment. I've broken some of those habits, but I still desperately need to break the rest and do my part to ensure that my kids and their kids and so on and so forth have a planet to live on. Another issue is misogyny. I am a female. You would think that because I'm a female, I have never slut-shamed, but unfortunately, I have said some pretty slut-shamey things, particularly in high school, that make my present-day ultra-feminist self want to scream at my high school self. I've also been reflecting on issues pertaining to the LGBTQ plus community. I've always loved and accepted and supported and been an ally of the LGBTQ plus community, but I've been guilty of making assumptions and perpetuating stereotypes and having misconceptions about the LGBTQ plus community. And of course, I've been reflecting on all the racial inequality in this country. It's the issue that has been the heaviest on my mind and on my heart, and for that reason, it's the issue that I'll be talking about the most in this video. Obviously, racism is disgusting and unacceptable, and it makes me absolutely sick to my stomach. What was difficult for me to come to terms with, and kind of still hard for me to admit, is the fact that I, a person of color who has been racially discriminated against and has faced countless what I know now to be microaggressions, have said and done things myself that are racist. You would think that someone who has experienced racism would not say and do things that are racist. Nope, people of color do not get a free pass. I do not get a free pass. I am certainly guilty of microaggressions and saying racially insensitive, major facepalm things and making jokes based on racial stereotypes to my friends of other races and ethnicities. Which, by the way, makes me a hypocrite because I am livid when non-Asians make racist Asian jokes. It is absolutely unacceptable for me to make a joke about a race or ethnicity that isn't mine. I've done that and I understand now that it's gross, it's unfunny, it's hurtful, it's disrespectful, it's stupid, and ultimately, it's racist. I can't just care about things that are offensive and wrong only when they affect me. I have to care about things that are offensive and wrong all the time and speak up about it, most especially if I do something offensive and wrong. I remember back in June reading about covert racism, which includes microaggressions and making racist jokes, and I just remember getting really uncomfortable and feeling really sick to my stomach. And it's because I knew that I had done those things, and then I was just thinking to myself, I am racist. But really, before I could admit that, I was trying to justify all the ways I could not possibly be racist. I was thinking of everything I mentioned earlier, being a person of color who has been racially discriminated against, living in progressive cities my entire life, having diverse friend groups, all of that. I feel like a lot of people's knee-jerk response is to just get defensive and list all the ways they're not prejudiced. I'm not racist. I have black friends. I have Asian friends. I have Hispanic friends. I'm not anti-Semitic. I have Jewish friends. I'm not Islamophobic. I have Muslim friends. I'm not homophobic. I have gay friends. I'm not misogynistic.
I have a wife and daughters.
I just feel like it's so much better for the world and for humanity to own up to our ignorance, own up to our mistakes, genuinely apologize, and put in the effort to actively dismantle all our prejudices and educate ourselves rather than just get defensive and not do anything to right our wrongs. When I'm wrong, and I don't want to stay wrong. The last thing I want people to feel around me is unsafe and disrespected and hurt. And unfortunately, I've made people feel that way even if it wasn't my intention. That's another thing. Even if my intentions aren't bad, if something I say or do impacts people negatively, then I have to stop saying or doing whatever it is that offended people, learn why it's offensive, stop doing it, never do it again, and continue educating myself. I'm 25, halfway to 50. Age does not determine how knowledgeable we are about certain things. Some of my best friends are years younger than me, and I credit them for teaching me what's appropriate and respectful to say nowadays. They have pointed out some of my blind spots and encouraged me to keep learning. My sister is 7 years younger than me and is the more mature sibling and knows things at 18 that I did not know at 18. There's still a lot I don't know, meaning I am still ignorant in a lot of ways. I know so much tragedy has happened this year and we're still in the middle of this pandemic, but I've been using all of this extra time that I now have to read and watch educational things, listen to different human experiences, and really think about the ways in which I myself have contributed to oppressive systems and other issues so that I no longer do that. I feel like I'm less of an ignorant twat than I was at the beginning of quarantine. I'm still an ignorant twat in a lot of ways because I still have a lot of blind spots, but those will lessen with time the more I learn about fellow human beings and the world. My education will never stop no matter how old I get. There is a fantastic post, there are a lot of fantastic posts making their way through Instagram, but this is one of my favorites that I've seen over the summer because I think it'll just always be relevant. I had, and maybe even still have, unconscious biases and prejudices, which I will try to personally kick in the ass myself if they start to rear their ugly ass heads. We need to actively be checking ourselves, and in case we miss anything, we need to be open to constructive criticism and listen when we're called out. And We need to get used to apologizing. That's something I'm better at now, but before I was too stubborn and proud to apologize. We need to apologize, and we need to apologize from the heart. That leads me to another thing I've been reflecting on that I need to throw into this video while I'm at it. I've been apologizing a lot this summer to my family and to my best friends. Folks who don't know me super well only see the parts of me that are positive and bubbly and friendly and uplifting, and those parts of me are real. But what's also real are the nasty parts of me. I am so quick to identify other people in my life who are toxic, but it took me a long time to realize how I myself have been toxic. I have ruined my mom's day and my sister's day and some of my best friends' days, multiple days, just by being a gloomy cloud of negativity and selfishness and overall toxicity. I preach about spreading love, kindness, and positivity. I need to stop being a hypocrite and start practicing what I preach all the time, especially with the people who love me unconditionally. I need to stop being snippy and selfish with my family and friends and start being grateful to them for their undying support and for sticking by me and putting up with me. Basically, I need to be a kinder, more loving, more respectful, and overall better person. I have to fart. I tooted. So yeah, 2020 has been a wake-up call for me. I'm in therapy right now, and I've been talking about all of this and more in my therapy sessions. It's easier to call other people out and recognize the ugliness in other people than it is to recognize the ugliness within myself. I won't let my ignorance and my mistakes define me, but I also won't just sweep them under the rug and pretend I've never hurt people. I think that we should all just own up to our mistakes, genuinely apologize for our mistakes, learn and grow from our mistakes, and then together we can all change the world as the awesome human beings we have become. I really believe that changing the world starts with ourselves. So let's look within. We still have a lot of work to do for humanity and for the planet. We need to look out for each other. We need to treat each other with kindness and respect. We need to empathize. We need to take care of the earth. We have to speak up for what's right, and we need to be on the right side of history. And that all starts with ourselves and looking deep within ourselves, checking ourselves. Let's be better together. Y'all are really pretty, and remember to spread love, kindness, and positivity, because that is still an important thing to do. I promise to practice what I preach. Ciao for now. Oh, also wear a mask. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. Don't be an entitled douche twat. Oh, and also vote.